Here we'll be discussing comparison of auto, diesel and dual cycles. What we'll be doing is we'll be fixing several factors and then see how the efficiencies of the three cycles compare. Alright. So first what we'll do is we'll compare the three cycles for same compression ratio and heat input to the cycle. Alright. So what we'll be doing is we'll compare the three cycles for same compression ratio and heat input. Now the best way to compare the cycles is going to be with the help of a diagram. Alright. So what we'll be using is a TS diagram. So let's try and draw the three cycles for the given conditions on the TS diagram. Alright, so we know that we'll be essentially looking at some isentropic processes, some constant volume processes and some constant pressure processes. So I'll mark two constant volume lines. So these are two constant volume lines. And first what I'll do is draw the Otto cycle. Alright. So what is the first process in Otto cycle is an isentropic compression. Alright. So first we'll have an isentropic compression. Then we have a constant volume heat addition. So it will follow this constant volume line. Then there is going to be an isentropic expansion. And then finally a heat rejection, which is also at constant volume. So this is how the Otto cycle will look. I'll mark the various points now. So this is point 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. Right. So this is the Otto cycle. Now what we want is we want the same compression ratio and heat input. So obviously to compare the cycles, what we'll do is we'll start with the same initial point. So point 1 will be same for all the cycles across the different comparisons that we are going to do. Alright. So now when the compression ratio is same, so isentropic compression will be same for both auto and diesel cycles, rather than for all the three cycles, auto, diesel and dual. So process 1 to 2 will be same for diesel cycle. Alright. So what I'll do now is I'll draw the diesel cycle and see how it will differ from the auto cycle for the given conditions. So for the same compression ratio, process 1 to 2 will be identical for diesel cycle as well. So we'll end up with 0.2, which is over here for diesel cycle. Then what type of heat addition process is there in a diesel cycle? It is at constant pressure. So at point 2, I'll draw a constant pressure line. So if you are aware, the constant volume line has a greater slope in TS diagram as compared to a constant pressure line. So a constant pressure line at point 2, something like this. So this is how a constant pressure line would look at point 2. It will have a lesser slope as compared to a volume line. Alright. And then we are going to have a heat addition process along this constant pressure line. Okay. Now what we want is we want same heat input for both the cycles. Alright. What is the heat input for the Otto cycle? What will be the heat input for the Otto cycle? So quite clearly, if I extend just these two to, let's suppose I call this point as A and this is point B, then the area A23B, this entire area is nothing but the heat addition for Otto cycle. Now we want the same heat addition for diesel cycle, and diesel cycle will have the process along this line, correct, along this curve, constant pressure. So point 3 of the diesel cycle should lie to the left or to the right of point 3, which is already marked over here. So can you tell how should point 3 be looking, on the left side or on the right hand side? We want same area. So obviously when the diesel cycle will follow this line for heat addition, we are having a deficit of this much area, right? This much area is more in Otto cycle. Now if you want to have same heat input, the area should be same. So to compensate for this extra heat input that the Otto cycle is having, the point 3 for the diesel cycle will be on the right. I hope you are following this. So for the diesel cycle, the heat addition process would look something like this. So it will go somewhere till this point. Then you will have a isentropic expansion process, and then it will be followed by a constant volume heat rejection. So this will go from this point till point 1, because that is the starting point as we had earlier discussed. So I'll just mark this till this much, but then remember that diesel cycle point 1 is this. Alright, so this is how the diesel cycle will differ from Otto cycle. So I'll mark the points now. So this is point 3 dash and this is point 4 dash. Alright, why did point 3 dash go to the right of 3? Because we want to have same heat input. So now if you see, so if we just call this as point C, so area A23-C and area A23B should be same. So obviously this is not to scale, but to compensate for this extra area that Otto cycle has, I have made point 3 shift to the right for the diesel cycle. So that is denoted as point 3 dash and then point 4 dash for the diesel cycle. I hope everybody has followed why 3 dash is marked to the right of 3. Alright, and so where will the dual cycle fit now? So the dual cycle, what is the heat addition process? It is partially at constant volume and partially at constant pressure. So for dual cycle, what you will have is the heat addition will be partially at constant volume. So 2 to 3, it will follow along this. This is the constant volume that we are already having for the Otto cycle. And then there will be a, so I'll just mark this as point, let's suppose 2A for dual cycle. 3 will be the end of heat addition. So 2 to 2A is along constant volume. And at point 2A, how will the constant pressure line look? Again, it will have a lesser slope as compared to a volume line. So pressure line would go something like this at point 2A. And then once again, how should point 3 for dual cycle come? So once again, this is the excess area. So for the constant pressure heat addition of the dual cycle, it is going to follow this line, right? So this much area is excess for Otto cycle. So to compensate for that, the point 3 of the dual cycle will also shift to the right, but then it will not be to the right of 3 dash, it will be to the left of 3 dash. I hope you are following it, because the area has to be equal, the heat input has to be equal. So diesel cycle is following the sort of the bottommost line of the 3, right? So obviously the dual cycle is going to have this much more. So the diesel cycle had to be the farthest, point 3 dash had to be for the farthest for the diesel cycle. For dual cycle, it will be in between 3 and 3 dash. I hope you are following it. So this is the constant pressure part now of heat addition, and let's suppose it will come till this point. Then you will have the expansion process and finally the constant volume heat rejection. So which will follow along this. So this is how the dual cycle will differ from the 3. I'll mark the points now. So this is point 3 dash. This is point 3 dash. And this is going to be point, sorry, not 3 dash. I'll mark it as 3 double dash. And just shift this 4. This was for the Otto cycle. And now this is for the dual cycle. Right? So I hope everybody has followed how we mark the cycles on the TH diagram for the given conditions. So same compression ratio, the process 1 to 2 or 0.2 was identical for all the 3 cycles. Then what we did was first drew the Otto cycle. Alright. Now the condition says the heat input should be same. So a dual cycle follows a process which is partially at constant volume, partially at constant pressure, whereas a diesel cycle follows a complete constant pressure heat addition process. To keep the area same, the point 3 and 3 dash and 3 double dash were adjusted so that the areas or the heat input is same. And then we just completed the cycle by marking the expansion and heat rejection processes. Alright, so these are now the 3 cycles in front of us. The Otto cycle marked in green, the difference of dual cycle that is marked with blue color, and the diesel cycle, it is marked with the yellow color. Alright, all the cycles complete their process at point 1, that is the heat rejection process at point 1, and then the cycle begins again. Alright, so now let's try and compare the efficiencies. Okay, so how do we define efficiency as? It is nothing but work output upon heat addition, and then this is also same as Q net upon heat addition. So we can write this as Q added minus Q rejected upon Q added, or this is 1 minus QR by QA. Alright, so these are the various forms of writing efficiency. Now for this comparison, what we'll do is select this form of efficiency to compare the different cycles. Alright, so what we have is the heat input is same. So QA is going to be same for all the 3 cycles. So what we need to see is what is heat rejection. What is heat rejection for the 3 cycles? What is the heat rejection for the 3 cycles? Alright, so we'll try to write them one by one. So this is first for the Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and diesel cycle. Alright, we'll see what are the different areas. So what is heat rejection for Otto cycle? So it will be this area A1 4B. This is the heat rejection process. The area under that will be the heat rejected. So this is A1 4B. So I'll just write that. So heat rejection of Otto cycle is given by area A1 4B and back to A. So this is the enclosed area that is showing heat rejection for the Otto cycle. What is the heat rejection of the dual cycle? It is A1 4 double dash. Okay, let's just extend that. So suppose point D. So it is going to be A1 4 double dash DA, right? So this entire is the heat rejection process of the dual cycle. So dual cycle heat rejection is A1 4 double dash DA. And what about the diesel cycle? It is going to be A1 4 dash C. So this entire is the heat rejection process for diesel cycle. So the heat rejected will be area A1 4 dash CA. Alright, so it is A1 4 dash CA. So of the 3 areas, can we mark out which is the largest and which is the smallest? Okay, so clearly the green area, or this is going to be the smallest area, whereas the diesel cycle heat rejection is going to be the largest. Right, so we have Otto cycle, this is the smallest area, and the diesel cycle is having the largest area, and dual cycle is in between. Alright, the dual cycle is in between. Alright, and in fact what we will follow is when we compare for different factors, you will always find that the dual cycle will be in between Otto and diesel cycles. Alright, so anyway, coming to the comparison back now. So we have found out that the heat rejection is smallest for Otto cycle, largest for diesel cycle. So can you think now what will be the efficiency comparison now? So if QA is same, that is the denominator is same, then obviously the lower the numerator, the more will be the efficiency. Or lower the heat rejection, greater will be the efficiency, right? Because we are going to subtract the lesser number from 1, right? So we'll have a more efficiency. So which will have the highest efficiency? So this will be the highest efficiency. This will have the highest efficiency, whereas this will have the lowest efficiency, right? So the diesel cycle will have the lowest efficiency, whereas the Otto cycle will have the highest efficiency. Alright, so this is how the 3 cycles compare. So what we find is efficiency of Otto cycle is more than efficiency of dual cycle, and that will be more than efficiency of diesel cycle. Right? Dual cycle is in between Otto and diesel cycle. Right? I hope you have followed the first comparison. Next, we'll compare the cycles for same compression ratio and heat rejection. We'll compare the cycles for same compression ratio and heat rejection. Right? Once again, we'll be using the TH diagram to compare the cycles. Right? And I'll mark the constant volume lines first. So these are constant volume lines. So we'll draw the Otto cycle once again. First, we'll draw the Otto cycle. So we'll have isentropic compression followed by constant volume heat addition. So it will be along this line. Then an isentropic expansion and constant volume heat rejection. Right? So mark the points now: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the Otto cycle. Now let's try and draw the diesel cycle. What we want is same heat rejection. Alright, the heat rejection has to be same, and as well as the compression ratio has to be same. So 0.2 for the diesel cycle will again be the 0.2 of the Otto cycle, that will be identical. So at 0.2 what I'll draw is a constant pressure line once again, and it will be having a lesser slope. So something like this. And then what we want is same heat rejection. Alright, so the heat rejection for all the three cycles happens at constant volume. So what is the heat rejection of the Otto cycle? It is nothing but this area. This you have already seen. This is AB. So A1 4BA. This area is nothing but the heat rejection. Right? This is the heat rejection of the Otto cycle. Alright. So for the diesel cycle also, it is at constant volume. The heat rejection takes place at constant volume. And if it has to be same, then process 421 should be exactly same for the diesel cycle as well as for the dual cycle. So 0.4 will be same for all the three cycles. 0.1 is already, we have mentioned that it will be same for all the three cycles. And to have constant heat rejection, 0.4 will also be same for all the three cycles. So for the diesel cycle, the isentropic expansion will be along this line. And so 0.3 for the diesel cycle should be this. Right? 0.3 for the diesel cycle should be this. I'll just mark it as 3 dash. Alright, and then I'll mark the cycle now. So this is so this is how the diesel cycle is going to look. And what about the dual cycle now? So dual cycle has partially at constant volume, partially at constant pressure. It is a heat addition process. But once again, its expansion should be along, its expansion process should be along this line. Its expansion process should be along this line. So 0.3 of the dual cycle should also be along this line. Correct? So we'll mark the heat addition now for the dual cycle. So this is partially at constant volume. So let's call this as 0.2A. And then we'll mark a constant pressure line, which will be having a lesser slope. So it could go something like this. This is a constant pressure line. And then we'll have the remaining part of heat addition, which ends over here. And then you will have the expansion, which will be followed along this line. Right? So this is 0.3 double dash. for the dual cycle. I hope everybody is following. So this is constant volume heat addition, and this is the remaining part, constant pressure heat addition. And then the expansion will be along this line. Why is it constrained to be along this line? Is because we want same heat rejection for all the 3 cycles. So now we have constrained all the 3 cycles to have the same heat rejection as well as same compression ratio. So how are these cycles going to compare now? So once again, what we'll do is use the same form of efficiency, that is 1 minus QR by QA, to compare the cycles. Now what we are having is QR is same. So we have to look at QA now. Now what is heat addition for the different cycles? We'll list that down. So heat additions. So we'll now list down heat additions for different cycles. So Otto cycle, dual cycle, and diesel cycle. Alright. So we'll mark the areas which are giving the heat addition value. So for Otto cycle, the heat addition is process 223, which is in the green and partially covered with blue. Alright, so this is the heat addition process. So the area is A23BA. Alright, the area is going to be A23BA. What about the dual cycle? So it has heat addition which is marked with blue color. So it is going to be area A22A 3 double dash B. Right, area A22A 3 double dash B. So area A22A 3 double dash B. And what about diesel cycle? So diesel cycle is the one which is having yellow colored. So this is area A23 dash BA. Area A23 dash BA. Can we identify which is the largest? It is very simple. The Otto cycle has the largest heat addition, whereas the diesel cycle has the lowest heat addition. Once again, what you will see is dual cycle is in between the 2 cycles. Alright. So we have Otto cycle having the largest heat addition, whereas diesel cycle has the lowest heat addition, whereas this is in between. Alright, this is in between. So how will the efficiency compare? So we have QR is same. Alright, so bigger the denominator, smaller will be this number and larger will be the efficiency. Correct? So we have greater the value of QR, more will be the value of efficiency. Higher will be the efficiency. So clearly Otto cycle will have the highest efficiency and this will have the lowest efficiency. Right? So the cycles will compare as Otto cycle efficiency more than dual cycle efficiency more than diesel cycle efficiency. Dual cycle once again is in between both Otto and diesel cycles. So I hope you have followed this second comparison, that is the cycles which have same compression ratio and heat rejection. Next, we will compare the cycles for same peak pressure, peak temperature, and heat rejection. So same peak pressure, peak temperature and heat rejection. Once again, we'll draw a TS diagram. Mark constant volume lines. So this is constant volume, this is constant volume. Once again, let's draw the Otto cycle first. So compression, then heat addition, expansion, and heat rejection. So I'll mark the points. This is point 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. And once again, what we are going to be looking at is same heat rejection. Alright, same heat rejection. So what is the heat rejection over here? So this is point A, B. So A1 4B is the heat rejection, and like we've just discussed, when the heat rejection is same, what we want is 0.4 to be same for all the 3 cycles, right? 1 will obviously be same, that is what we have mentioned, that the cycles will be having the same starting point or initial point. So 4 to 1, that is the constant volume process, constant volume heat rejection process, which is the same for all the 3 cycles. Why? Because we want the heat rejection to be same. So 0.4 should be over here, and so we'll have 0.3 for all the cycles along this line. Alright. Now what it says is it should have same peak pressure and peak temperature. Alright. So what is the highest temperature that we see over here now is this 0.3. Alright. So if I just mark it from here to here, so we are having this is the maximum temperature. Alright. So none of the cycle can exceed this temperature. None of the cycle can exceed this temperature. Alright. And what it also says is peak pressure should also be same. Alright. So it mentions nothing about compression ratio. So 0.2 is now a free to move point for different cycles. 0.2 will be different for different cycles. But now what we'll have is you need to have same peak pressure. So what I'll do is whatever is the value of pressure at this point, 0.3. Now this is the peak point of the Otto cycle, right? So whatever pressure we have over here for Otto cycle, that should not be exceeded by any other cycle. Alright, that should not be exceeded by any other cycle. So that will be the peak pressure for all the 3 cycles. Alright, so I'll mark a constant pressure line, this time not at 0.2 but at 0.3. I hope you are following. So you want the same peak pressure. 0.3 is the peak point of Otto cycle. It has the highest pressure and temperature, as you can see. So at 0.3 I'll mark a constant pressure line. At 0.3 I'll mark a constant pressure line. So this is the constant pressure line. Once again, it should have a lesser slope. Alright. So you'll understand once we draw the diesel cycle on this now. So what is the heat addition process in diesel cycle? It is at constant pressure. So we want that 0.3 should be identical for all the 3 cycles. So at constant pressure, the diesel cycle can have the heat addition happening along this line. Right? So for diesel cycle, the heat addition will happen along this line. So 0.2 for diesel cycle will be somewhere over here. So we'll have 0.1 from which we'll have the isentropic compression, and for the diesel cycle you'll have 0.2 extending till here. I'll mark it as 0.2 dash. Alright, and then you will have the heat addition at constant pressure till 0.3. So 2 dash to 3 is the heat addition. Then it will follow 3 to 4 for isentropic expansion, and then 4 to 1 as a heat rejection. So you can check that we have ensured all the 3 conditions happening for both Otto and diesel cycle. Right? So we have the same peak pressure, right? So peak pressure, that is this pressure line, neither does Otto cycle exceed it nor diesel cycle exceeds it. In fact, both have the same peak pressure value and same peak temperature. So peak temperature is this, right? So diesel cycle also reaches that temperature, that is by reaching 0.3, and Otto cycle is also having the same peak temperature. Heat rejection is same, that is ensured by having 0.4, same for all the cycles that we have seen earlier. Alright. So now how will the dual cycle fit in? Can you think how will the dual cycle fit in? So dual cycle has partial heat addition at constant volume and partial at constant pressure. But we want the same peak pressure for the dual cycle as well. So what we now know is that the constant pressure part of heat addition should happen along this line, right? So I'll try to mark that first, and we also know that point 3 should be same because of same peak pressure and temperature condition. So we'll first mark that part of the heat addition somewhere over here. Sorry, something like this, right? So this is for the dual cycle, and part of it happens at constant volume. So I'll need to draw a constant volume line once again. So which I'll draw from this point. This point we usually call it as 2A. So let me mark it first. This is point 2A. And now I'll draw a constant volume line at point 2A. So let's suppose something like this. This is a constant volume line at point 2A. Right, I'll just extend it. So we'll have a constant volume line at point 2A, something like this. Alright. And so this will be the remaining part of heat addition. And then this is the extra compression that you will have to follow in a dual cycle, so that you end up with the conditions of same peak pressure, peak temperature. Alright. So once again I'll just erase this point 2 which was marked for Otto cycle. So I'll mark it here. And then this is point 2 for dual cycle. Alright. So 1 to 2 is the compression process of Otto cycle. This is 2 double dash. 1 to 2 double dash will be for dual cycle, and 1 to 2 dash for the diesel cycle. Alright. The heat addition processes have been adjusted such that we end up with same peak pressure and peak temperature condition, that is point 3 turns out to be same for all the 3 cycles. That is how the heat addition processes have been adjusted. Then for same heat rejection, as we saw earlier, point 4 should be same for all the cycles. So 4 to 1 is the same heat rejection process followed by all the cycles, and we have the same heat rejection. Alright. Okay. So once again what is going to happen is now we'll have different heat additions. As we can clearly see, the areas of heat addition are all different. So we can quickly compare now the efficiencies. So efficiency we can write as 1 minus QR by QA. Since QR is same, we have discussed earlier also, greater the value of QA, more will be the efficiency. Correct? This is just like we had in the previous case. So what are the heat additions of different cycles? What are the heat addition areas of different cycles? So for the Otto cycle, it is A23BA. Right? So for Otto cycle, it is area A23BA. What is it for the dual cycle? It is A2 double dash 2A3BA. Right? The area under the blue line. We are talking about the heat addition now. Alright. So it is area A2 double dash 2A3BA. And how about diesel cycle? So for diesel cycle it is this yellow and then till point 3. Alright. So we have A2 dash 3BA. A2 dash 3BA. Right. So even if you had not written, I think you have figured out that Otto cycle is having the least area, that is the least heat addition. The dual cycle has this much region extra, right? This dual cycle is having this much excess of heat addition, and the diesel cycle has this part even more than the dual cycle, right? So dual cycle has this much extra, whereas the diesel cycle has, apart from that, even this more as compared to dual cycle. So diesel cycle is having the largest heat addition, whereas the Otto cycle has the smallest heat addition. Once again, dual cycle is coming in between. Alright. So this is the largest, it is the Otto cycle which has the smallest. So this is the smallest area, this is the largest area, whereas this is in between. So this time what we have is the diesel cycle, since it has the largest area, will have highest efficiency, whereas this will have the lowest efficiency. This will have the lowest efficiency. Alright. So this time the comparison is efficiency of diesel cycle is more than efficiency of dual cycle is more than efficiency of Otto cycle. Alright. This is how the cycles compare when you have condition of same peak pressure, peak temperature and heat rejection. I hope you are following this method of comparing the cycles. Alright. It is making it easier for you. Now this condition of same peak pressure, peak temperature and heat rejection was once asked in GATE for 2 marks. Right? It was exactly the 4 options were shuffled with all the efficiencies mixed and matched. The correct option was this: diesel cycle more than dual cycle more than Otto cycle. Alright. So exactly same question was asked. How do the efficiencies compare for the condition of same peak pressure, peak temperature and heat rejection? It was asked for 2 marks. Right. So understand the process properly, how to compare the cycles. We'll have 2 more cases to discuss. So what you can do now is try to do the comparison along with me. Alright. So you'll see how much you have followed and then you can obviously ask for any doubts. Now we'll compare for same maximum pressure and heat input. So all the cycles will have same maximum pressure and heat input. Right? So you can do along with me. Prepare the sort of TS chart, mark the constant volume lines. We'll draw the Otto cycle first. Mark the points 1, 2, 3 and 4. Alright. So this is what we have now. This is the Otto cycle. Okay. So you should have same maximum pressure. So this is like the previous case. Right. So what is the maximum pressure point of Otto cycle? It is at 0.3. 0.3 is the maximum pressure. And so we want the same maximum pressure for diesel cycle. So where should I draw a constant pressure line? At 0.3. So at 0.3 we'll draw a constant pressure line. Right. So this is how a constant pressure line will look, which will be less steeper as compared to a volume line. Alright, at same point. So this is the constant pressure line. We want same maximum pressure. Okay, now the diesel cycle will have its heat addition along this line, right? So we have constrained the maximum pressure, that is to be along this line. So we'll have its compression happening till this point. Alright. So isentropic compression from point 1, it will go on till this point. So this is how we'll end up with point 2 for diesel cycle. I'll mark it as 0.2 dash. Alright. So coming to heat addition now. We want same heat input for all the 3 cycles. Alright. So Otto cycle, once again we'll mark the heat addition. There is a heat addition. It is in 2 to 3. So this is A and this is B. So how are we going to have the heat addition? This is the heat addition process, constant volume for Otto cycle. So area A23BA, this is the heat addition, correct? So if you want the same area for diesel cycle as well, now diesel cycle will have its heat addition beginning at this point. So already we are going to have a larger area if we go till 0.3, right? If we go till 0.3, if the heat addition goes till 0.3, so we will end up with a larger area as compared to Otto cycle for heat addition. But we want the same area. So what should we do? Where should 0.3 of diesel cycle lie? To the left or to the right? So clearly it will be to the left of 0.3 of Otto cycle. Alright. So for the diesel cycle, the heat addition should stop earlier, somewhere over here, let's suppose. Then you should have your other process, that is the expansion process, somewhere till here. Alright. So this will be 0.3 dash, this will be 0.4 dash for diesel cycle. Why did we do that? So that the area A23B and this, now this, let's suppose this is point C, and area A2-3-C, these two areas are made same. Basically what happened is 0.2 went above for diesel cycle and we want same heat input. So 0.3 had to shift to the left. It had to shift to the left. Alright. In the first case, what happened was, what did we have in the first case? The heat addition process was going to happen along constant pressure, but then 0.2 was fixed over there. Same compression ratio. So we had the diesel cycle which was all going to be below the Otto cycle. The heat addition of diesel cycle was going to be below the heat addition of Otto cycle, right? So we've shifted 0.3 to the right. Now what is happening is, the heat addition of diesel cycle is going to be above Otto cycle, right? So we have to shift 0.3 to the left so that the areas become same. And we ensure that the heat input is same. Alright. What will happen for dual cycle? For dual cycle, this condition has to be maintained, that is same maximum pressure. You need to have same maximum pressure. So maximum pressure has to be same. So its latter part, that is of the constant pressure, should be along this line. Right? It should be along this line. And you also need to have some heat addition at constant volume. Right? So obviously it is going to be in between the Otto and diesel cycle. It will be in between the Otto cycle heat addition and diesel cycle heat addition. So how is it going to look? Can you try it? So see how to identify, how to draw this dual cycle heat addition processes. So you know that part of it is going to be above Otto cycle. Alright, it is going to be above Otto cycle because it has a constant pressure. But part of it will also be below diesel cycle. Right, it will be below diesel cycle. Why? Because diesel cycle, this is the entire constant pressure. So for dual cycle, you need to have some heat addition happening at constant volume and then followed by constant pressure. Alright. So what will happen is, the dual cycle, I'll just draw it and then explain it to you again. I'll just erase this point to mark it over here. So see, if I mark a constant volume line over here, this is another constant volume line. So see, what I am saying is 0.2 of the dual cycle will come somewhere over here. It will come somewhere over here, 2 double dash. Alright. Then see, you have part of heat addition at constant volume. You have part of heat addition at constant volume. It will go on till this. This line is a constraint. Why? Because you have you need to have same peak pressure, maximum pressure. So this line is a constraint. So you cannot exceed the limit over here. Alright. So constant volume heat addition will take place up till this point. Why did I not take 0.2 till here? Or why did I not take 0.2 till here for dual cycle is simply because you need to have same heat input as well as satisfy the maximum pressure condition. Alright, so to have the same heat input and maximum pressure condition, the point 2 of the dual cycle will lie somewhere in between so that the areas turn out to be equal. So you will follow once I complete the entire thing. Now you see it has already exceeded Otto cycle area. The area for Otto cycle was this A23B. So it is clearly above it, but it is below diesel cycle heat addition. Right? This much area is less. So point 3 of dual cycle will lie in between points 3 of both Otto and diesel cycles. It will lie in between points 3 of Otto and diesel cycles. So this we call as point 2A. This we have called as point 2A. And then this will be the remaining part of heat addition somewhere over here. Alright, and this I will mark as point 3 double dash. Then you will have the expansion process. This. And then the heat rejection will follow. So this is point 4 double dash. This is 4 dash. This is going to be 4 dash. Alright. So you have the diesel cycle heat rejection, which is this much. Alright. This is the diesel cycle. Then Otto cycle has this much extra heat rejection. And this was a dual cycle which had slightly extra this part, and then the Otto cycle is still 0.4. Alright, so let me just mark this now. This is point D. So I'll explain why we take 0.2 for dual cycle in between points 2 of Otto and diesel cycles. Alright, so suppose we had taken 0.2 over here, which is the same as the 0.2 of Otto cycle. Then we need to reach the maximum pressure condition along a constant volume. So remember, there are two parts of heat addition in dual cycle. One first along a constant volume line and then along a constant pressure line. So if we take 0.2 same as the 0.2 of Otto cycle, then to reach the maximum pressure by a constant volume, you will end up with the same process as 223 of Otto cycle. And then further you will have a constant pressure part of heat addition. So clearly then in that case, the heat addition will be more than the Otto cycle heat addition, right? So we cannot have 0.2 of dual cycle over here. Now, if we have 0.2 of dual cycle at this point, then when we start a constant volume heat addition process, immediately we will be exceeding the maximum pressure limit. So we cannot have 0.2 for dual cycle over here as well. So that is the reason why we have 0.2 of dual cycle somewhere in between. And accordingly, 0.3 gets adjusted so that the area under the process or the heat input remains same. So I hope you have followed this. Right? So once these cycles are plotted on the TS diagram, I think now we can go on to compare. So what we can do now, once again, this is 1 minus QR by QA. We have same heat input. So this is like the first case. The cycle which has a lower heat rejection will have higher efficiency. Alright. Smaller the numerator, lesser is the number being subtracted from 1. So more will be the efficiency. Alright. So we need to see what are the heat rejections of different cycle. Right. So Otto cycle, dual cycle and diesel cycle. Okay. So the area for Otto cycle heat rejection is A14BA. This is the heat rejection of Otto cycle, A14BA. A14BA. Then for dual cycle it is A14DA. A14DA. And for diesel cycle it is A14-CA. It is A14-CA. So which is the largest? It is quite clearly Otto cycle has the largest heat rejection, whereas diesel cycle has the least heat rejection. So Otto cycle, this is largest, this is smallest for diesel cycle, and dual cycle is in between. Alright, and as we have already listed, the cycle which has a lower heat rejection will have a higher efficiency. So this will be the highest efficiency, whereas this will be the lowest efficiency, right? So for this case, the cycles compare as diesel cycle has more efficiency as compared to dual cycle, which has more efficiency as compared to Otto cycle. Alright, so this was the comparison when the cycles have same maximum pressure and heat input. So finally, we compare the cycles for same maximum pressure and work output. Same maximum pressure and work output. Right? So you can do along with me. We'll do it on a TS diagram. Constant volume lines. Mark the Otto cycle first. Alright, these are constant volume lines, V equal to C. Then we have marked the Otto cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So like the previous case, we have same maximum pressure condition. So 0.3 is the peak of Otto cycle. It has the maximum pressure and temperature. So we'll mark the same maximum pressure condition over here now. So we'll mark the pressure line at 0.3. It should go something like this. Okay. Now what we have is we need to have same work output. Alright. So how we define work output in a cycle diagram? It is nothing but the area which is enclosed by the cycle. It will be the area which is enclosed by the cycle. Alright. Now this is going to be very much similar as compared to the previous case. In the previous case, what we are doing is we are trying to find out the same heat input, right? We are trying to draw the cycles when the heat input was same. Now here what it wants is same work output. Alright. So the area that is going to be enclosed is this, right? This is the area enclosed. Now previously what we are comparing is the area under the process, right? So under 2 to 3 we used to mark this like this, right? We used to mark it, this is point A, this is point B, alright? So previously we were comparing was what? Area A23B with the other cycles. Now here what is happening is we have to compare area 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Alright, we have to compare area 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is happening is, pay attention, all the cycles have same initial point and all the cycles have a constant volume heat rejection process. All the cycles have a constant volume heat rejection process. So 0.4 of all the 3 cycles is going to be lying along this constant volume line that we have drawn. Right? 0.4 for all the 3 cycles should lie along this. Okay. Now when we talk about a diesel cycle, it has a constant pressure heat addition. So which should happen along this line. Right? It should happen along this line. And 0.4 will lie along this line. So to have the same area under the cycle or same area enclosed in the cycle, what do you think should happen to 0.3? Whether it should be marked to the left or to the right? Just think and let me know. 0.4 should lie on this line. 0.3 should lie on this line for the diesel cycle. Alright. To make things easier for you, what I'll do is I'll show the compression process. So this is the isentropic compression that will follow till this point. So this is 0.2 of diesel cycle. Alright, so I'll mark it as 2 dash. So from 2 dash to 3 we have to mark now 3 dash, such that you have the same area enclosed. So obviously 0.4 is going to be lying on this, correct? 0.4 has to lie on this line. Now if 0.3 goes beyond this 0.3 of Otto cycle, so suppose 0.3 we mark over here, then 0.4 will be somewhere over here. Then the work output of the diesel cycle will be more than the work output of the Otto cycle, which violates what condition we are working on. We are working on the case where the cycles produce the same work output. I repeat, if 0.3 of diesel cycle goes over here, somewhere over here, let's suppose, and then we have the isentropic expansion process and then the heat rejection process. So you see the area of diesel cycle is more than the area of Otto cycle, correct? Which we don't want. So clearly 0.3 cannot lie over here. It should not lie over here, but it should lie to the left of the 0.3 of Otto cycle. Alright. So we'll have the heat addition process, let's suppose, till this point. So this is 0.3 dash for diesel cycle, and then I'll mark the expansion process from here to here. And so this is 0.4 dash. I hope you have followed. So now, though it is not 2 scale, what we can say is area 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. This is the work output of diesel cycle is same as area 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever excess area is there over here is compensated by the area over here. Alright, is compensated by the area over here. Alright, so this area will be equal to this area if we draw 2 scale, and this is anyway common. Alright, so this is how we ensure that the work output is same. Now what will happen for a dual cycle? So we have discussed earlier, when the maximum pressure has to be same, 0.2 of dual cycle cannot be over here. So it has to be slightly below. Alright, so it needs to be slightly below. So its expansion process, its compression process will go somewhere till this point. Alright, its compression process will go somewhere till this point. So this is 0.2 double dash for a dual cycle. Then we need to have some constant volume heat addition. So I draw a constant volume line. This is V equal to C. And it will go on till this limit is reached. So this is 0.2A as we have been marking till now. Alright. So see, once again, what is happening is for same work output, the dual cycle is now having this much area less as compared to the diesel cycle. So its point will be shifted slightly to the right of diesel cycle, whereas it already has this much excess. So it is going to be above the Otto cycle. So for that reason, 0.3 of dual cycle will be to the left of 0.3 of Otto cycle. Alright. So 0.3 you will end up somewhere over here. Like this. You should end up somewhere over here. This will be 0.3 for dual cycle. I'll mark it as 3 double dash. So I'll mark the expansion process. Right, and then the heat rejection will be along the line. And so this is 0.4 double dash. Alright, this is 0.4 double dash. I'll just rewrite those points. This is 0.4 dash and this is 4 double dash. Alright, so now you can see, so for diesel and dual, this much area is less for dual cycle. So we are compensated by moving 0.3 double dash. So this strip should be equal to area in this strip. Obviously it is not looking over here because it is not 2 scale. So this area will be same as this area. Alright. And for Otto cycle, now how much is excess? This area is excess for dual cycle as compared to Otto cycle. So this area will be same as this area. Alright. It may not again appear to be same because it is not drawn to scale. So, but I hope you are following. The work output is same, so that the area enclosed has to be same. So area enclosed has to be same. How do we ensure that? By adjusting 0.3 accordingly. Alright. So this is how the cycles will be drawn on the TS diagram for same maximum pressure and work output. Now, how do we compare the efficiencies? So what should we be looking at? So we have efficiency is W net upon QA. Alright. Okay. So we have Q net is same as W net from first law of cycles. Right. And Q net is also equal to what? Q net can also be written as QA minus QR. Right. So can we write QA as Q net plus QR? But since Q net is same as W net, this is W net plus QR. It is W net plus QR. Okay, so this becomes W net upon W net plus QR. Why did we write it in this form? Because here we are dealing with a condition where work output is same. So W net is same for all the three cycles. Alright. So now we have to look at QR. Okay, so what will happen if QR is larger? So if QR is larger, the denominator is going to become bigger, and so the efficiency will be smaller. So larger the value of QR, you will have lesser the value of efficiency. Alright. So what we need to see in the diagram is now the various heat rejections. Right. So for different cycles, so we'll mark it over here now: auto, dual and diesel. Alright. So what is the heat rejection for auto cycle? Okay, so we have already marked it. It is A14B. Alright, it is this area A14B A. So this is A14B A. What will be the heat rejection for dual cycle? So dual cycle, you will, let's suppose this is point C. So it becomes A14CA. Right, this much is the area which is showing the heat rejection for a dual cycle. So this is going to be area A14CA. And what about diesel cycle? So diesel cycle is having 4 dash over here. So we just extend it. This is point D, suppose. So diesel cycle heat rejection is A14DA. A14DA. Alright. So which is the largest area? It is clearly for the auto cycle, and the smallest area happens for the diesel cycle. Alright. So auto cycle has the largest heat rejection, whereas diesel cycle has the smallest heat rejection. Dual cycle is once again in between. So which will have the highest efficiency? So greater heat rejection, lesser is the efficiency. So this will be the lowest efficiency, whereas this will be the highest efficiency. I hope you are following this. So once again, it is diesel cycle which is more efficient than dual as compared to auto. So diesel cycle is more efficient than dual cycle is more efficient than auto cycle. This is how the cycles will compare when they have same maximum pressure and work output. Alright. So what we have discussed right now is how the three cycles, that is the diesel, dual and auto cycles, compare for various factors that are fixed for or that are common for all the three cycles. Alright. So this is a summary of the comparison that we have done. So when we had the same compression ratio and heat addition, that was the first case that we saw. We found out that auto cycle was the most efficient, whereas diesel cycle was the least. For same compression ratio and heat rejection also, auto cycle is the most efficient, diesel is the least. When you have same peak pressure, peak temperature and heat rejection, you had diesel cycle which was most efficient and auto cycle was the least efficient. In all the cases, we found that dual cycle is in between the other two cycles. Alright. When you had the same maximum pressure and heat input, what again you found was diesel cycle is the most efficient, auto cycle is the least efficient. And the same happened when you had same maximum pressure and work output, which is the last case that we just saw. Alright. So I hope you have followed all the comparisons that we have done.